Hi students, today we will discuss about the hybridization concept, which is a very important and which is required for furtherly also, not only in inorganic chemistry, in organic compounds or organic chemistry also, the hybridization of the carbon compounds is important, required for that. And here, what is the need of hybridization first? Why we are studying about the hybridization? Why we need to go for hybridization concept? In this, what is the need of hybridization means there is some drawbacks in the valency bond theory which we discussed earlier. What are the drawbacks means here as per the valency bond theory we are getting the bond angle of NH3 molecule as 90 degrees, but it is not correct. Practically it is having 107 degrees. And similarly, the bond angle of H2O molecule is 90 degrees as per valency bond theory. It is also wrong. We are getting 104.5 degrees for H2O molecule. Those two concepts are not given by the valency bond theory correctly. Second and important thing is, as per the valency bond theory, means we can say them as limitations. All these considered as limitations. Limitations of valency bond theory. So it is not able to explain, not explain, not explain bond angle of NH3 H2O like molecules. Second thing, all bonds are same type in some molecules BeCl2 CH4 type. But as per valency bond theory, if you are taking, suppose I am taking CH4 molecule formation as per the valency bond theory concept, not as the hydrogen concept. As per valency bond theory concept, formation of CH4 I am taking. In this molecule, carbon ground state configuration, if you are taking ground state means it is the normal configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 configuration. Here 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 means this is the valency shell, 2s2, 2 and 2p2 means this is having 2 electrons. But actually carbon always shows tetravalency and this electron is jumping into the 2p orbital, and so in the first excited state, EST means first excited state. In the first excited state, carbon configuration is 1s2, 2s1, 2p3, and in this first excited state, it is having how many electrons? 4 unpaired electrons or single electrons. In this first excited state of carbon, generally it is participating in bond formation. So, what type of orbitals are available for bonding? Here, one 2s orbital, which is spherical, and the other three are p orbitals. These p orbitals are dumbbell. Okay, so here, what is the other atom? Hydrogen. Hydrogen means it is 1s1 orbital, that is a spherical orbital. So this spherical s orbital is overlapping with the spherical 2s orbital of carbon atom, and here suppose I am writing hydrogen, and this hydrogen is giving one electron, and this hydrogen gives one electron and makes a bond, means it is forming a bond with this, and so this is making a bond between carbon and hydrogen. And what type of overlapping occurs in between these two? It is called as a S overlapping, because hydrogen 1s orbital and carbon 2s orbital. So both are SS overlapping. And second hydrogen is also giving one more electron, and this is making a bond with this. And then what is the overlapping? Here this is s orbital, but here it is p orbital. So we are having sp overlapping. Third hydrogen gives another electron, fourth hydrogen also gives another electron, and they are also making bonds. Here they are also making bonds. When they are making bonds, what is this overlapping? It is also sp overlapping. Means in CH4 molecule, means for example I am structure writing CH4 molecule. This is CH4 molecule, and in the CH4 molecule what type of overlappings are present? One is SS overlapping, the remaining three are SP overlappings. So, which bond is stronger? As I said yesterday or earlier, that is PP overlapping is stronger, next is SP, next is SS. Means SP overlapping is stronger than SS overlapping. Means these three bonds are stronger than this SS overlapping CH bond. Means carbon or CH4 contains two different types of bonds or two different types of bond strength containing bonds in CH4 molecule as per valency bond theory. So as per valency bond theory, we are getting two different types of bond strength containing bonds. But practically when we check the CH4 molecule bond energies, CH bond energies, the amount of energy required to break this bond or this bond or this bond or this bond is the same. They are having same bond energy. There is no difference. Then how we can explain all the bonds are same type only? How we can explain means this is the drawback of valency bond theory. It is not able to explain. The valency bond theory not able to explain all one type or all same type of bonds present in CH4 molecule formation. Similarly, in beryllium chloride also same thing happens. When beryllium chloride is taken, beryllium and chlorine, here I am simply giving one is sp bond, another one is a pp bond. Here this is a pp bond. Okay, beryllium p orbital and chlorine p orbital. And pp-sp bonds are taken, which is more stable, pp. So this is stronger and this is weaker. But practically both are having same strength. Both are stronger, both have same strength. So this type of bond strength of all bonds is the same practically, but it is not explained by the valency bond theory. It is also a failure of valency bond theory. It is not explaining about the unpaired electron containing molecules, means odd electron molecule formation, like H2 plus formation. H2 plus formation if you are taking, that is also another molecule drawback, H2 plus formation or O2 minus 2 formation. So such type of unpaired electron containing species molecule formation cannot be explained by this valency bond theory, and to rectify these drawbacks they introduced the concept of hybridization. What happens or what is the meaning of hybridization? Hybridization means simply, you remember what are the, how many types of colors we have actually in nature, how many types of colors we have? Yes, I think you know about this very easily. It is 7 colors. It is called as simply VIBGR. VIBGR. So in VIBGR we have 7 colors. So in nature we have 7 colors only. Then what about pink? What about pink? How we can get the pink color or greenish yellow? Okay, means these 7 colors are the natural colors, but if we mix these colors in different compositions, means in different ways, then we are getting some new colors. So pinkish yellow, yellowish white, gray colors. So different colors we have. So those all different colors which are other than VIBGR, we are getting are because of mixing. Because of mixing. So by mixing just 2 or 3 colors in a mixie, suppose or in a grinder, then we are getting a new color. Okay, so like that here when we are mixing this s orbital and this p orbitals, then what happens? All they come under equal energy containing. So they come out as an equal energy orbitals when they are having equal energy orbitals, then there is no question of bond strength. All are having same bond strength only. That is the main idea of hybridization. So hybridization means mixing of atomic orbitals. If there is atomic orbitals, then we say this is s orbital, this is p orbital, this is d orbital, this is f orbital. SS overlapping is lesser or PP overlapping is stronger, we can say. If there is no atomic orbitals, then after mixing of the atomic orbitals, if you are getting a new orbital which is having same energy, no difference between the energy, then we call it as hybrid orbitals, and those hybrid orbitals all are same type and same energy containing, and no issue about the strength of those hybrid orbital because all are same, all are having same energy. So then we will get the compounds structures also very easily without any deviation in the bond strengths, and that concept is hybridization concept. Now see the definition for hybridization. This is important, and in this definition you will get completely. Here first, the process of intermixing of atomic orbitals. The process of intermixing of atomic orbitals of nearly equal energies to form equal number of identical and new orbitals. Identical and new orbitals. So please see in the definition we have some parts. The process of intermixing of atomic orbitals of nearly equal energies to form, here to form equal number of identical and new orbitals. To form equal number of identical and new orbitals is known as hybridization process. So what is hybridization means? It is the process of intermixing of atomic orbitals. Process of intermixing of atomic orbitals of nearly equal energies. Atomic orbitals having nearly equal energy to form equal number of identical and new orbitals is known as hybridization process. Means we are mixing atomic orbitals. We are mixing atomic orbitals, intermixing of atomic orbitals, and those atomic orbitals having nearly equal energies. Having nearly equal energies to form equal number of identical and new orbitals is known as hybridization process. And the formed new orbitals are called as hybrid orbitals are called as hybrid orbitals. So these are simply called as hybrid orbitals. The new orbitals which are formed are called as hybrid orbitals. So once again, please see the process. It is a process of intermixing, the mixing of atomic orbitals. What type of orbitals? Having nearly equal energies. They have nearly equal energy to form equal number of identical and new orbitals. Okay, that is a definition of hybridization, and in this rules of hybridization. Next, these are the rules for hybridization. Here, rules for hybridization means when we are mixing the atomic orbitals, we need to follow some rules. In this first rule is orbitals of same or one atom only involved in hybridization. Orbitals of same or one atom means I am taking CH4 molecule. Here I am taking CH4 molecule. In the CH4 molecule, I am taking carbon atom 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. And in the excited state, first excited state configuration is 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. So the first excited state configuration is 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. Here this s orbital of carbon and the same carbon atom p orbitals. So please remember the s orbital of carbon and 3px, 3py, 3pz orbital of this undergoes to intermixing, but not from the hydrogen atom 1s orbital, or but not from the other carbon atom. Suppose I am taking second carbon, here it is having 1s2, 2s2 or 2s1 first excited state configuration, and it is 2p3. So in this 2s orbital, this 1 orbital and this 2s orbital I am taking, sir, from different atoms. If you take, we will get different new orbitals. That is not correct. So we need to follow the rules of hybridization. Orbitals of same atom are from one atom only, not from the different atoms. You can't mix orbitals of different atoms. It is not possible. So orbitals of one atom are from same atom only, involved in the intermixing are involved in the hybridization process. That is first important thing. Second thing, nearly equal energy orbitals only involved in hybridization. Nearly equal energies means what? Suppose I am having 2s orbital, 2p orbital, and suppose there is a this is suppose, for example, any other example you are taking here, any other molecule, if it is taken, phosphorus for example. In the phosphorus means it is 15. Okay, and in this 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3 is there, and it is having 3d orbital also. And in this 3s orbital and 3p orbitals and 3d orbitals are present. Okay, sir, I will use the 2s orbital and I will use the 2p or 3p orbital. This is not 2p orbital. I will use 2s orbital and 3p orbital, or I will use 2s orbital and 3d orbital. It is not correct. 2s nearly equal energy means 2p only, or 3s nearly equal energy means 3p or 3d only, but not 2d or not 2p or 2s. Okay, at least same shell is taken. From the same shell, the orbital, same shell means 1, 2, 3, 4 number of shells we give now. This is one shell, this is second shell. So this is first shell, this is second shell, this is third shell. So in the same shell, energies are nearly same. So those orbitals only involve in hybridization process. Next, third important role, number of atomic orbitals participating in the hybridization process means intermixing. How many hybrid orbitals are formed means that depends upon the number of atomic orbitals. Suppose if we are mixing two atomic orbitals, then we will get two hybrid orbitals only. Suppose I am mixing carbon. Carbon is taken, for example, 1s2, 2s1 and 2p3. Here it is having 1s orbital and here it is having p3 orbital. When I am mixing one orbital of 2s and one orbital of 2p, then how many hybrid orbitals are formed? So when we are mixing only two orbitals, then two hybrid orbitals are only formed. Generally, those hybrid orbitals are called as a 1s orbital, 1p orbital. When mixing, we will get sp hybridization. If one s orbital and two p orbitals are mixed, means 2s orbital 1, 2px, 2py mixed, then we will get sp2 hybridization. Means how many orbitals mixed? 3 orbitals. So how many hybrid orbitals we will get? 3 orbitals only. So 3 hybrid orbitals which are named as sp2 are formed. And suppose I am mixing one s orbital means 2s orbital 1 and 3 p orbitals. 3 p orbitals, then we are getting totally 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, we will get 4. So the number of atomic orbitals mixing or undergoing to intermixing process is equal to the number of hybrid orbitals. Number of hybrid orbitals formed in the process. Okay, we are taking number of atomic orbitals 5, we are not getting 5. This is wrong completely. We are getting 2, I got 5 hybrid orbitals, sir. It is also wrong. Okay, if you are getting 2 hybrid orbitals means you took only 2 atomic orbitals. Okay, and here next point, hybrid orbitals have same energy and shape. So please remember, I am giving the shape of a hybrid orbital. Generally any hybrid orbital is having one small lobe and one large lobe. This is the shape of any hybrid orbital. Any sp or sp2 or sp3 or any furtherly we will give. So any hybrid orbital, any type of atomic orbitals intermix and forms a hybrid orbital, that hybrid orbital is having same shape, one large lobe and one small lobe. Okay, and these hybrid orbitals are having same energy. All hybrid orbitals are always having same energy. Next, hybrid orbitals are oriented in space around central atom in such a way to have minimum repulsions. Here minimum repulsions among them means I have suppose two hybrid orbitals. For example, I have this type of two hybrid orbitals. Okay, so I am writing this is one hybrid orbital and this is the small lobe, and I am having another hybrid orbital. This is another hybrid orbital. Two hybrid orbitals I have. How they will be oriented? Suppose a carbon atom is containing these two hybrid orbitals, for example. In carbon atom, these two hybrid orbitals will be arranged like here. This is one large lobe, small lobe, one hybrid orbital, and this is the another hybrid orbital. Why they are arranged in this direction or in this linear manner only, sir? Why can't you take like this? Suppose I am taking, you may think like suppose, sir, I can take like this now. So here this is more better. It is looking like L perpendicular to each other. Why we are taking only these two hybrid orbitals in this direction or linearly only? Why can't we take in this shape? Because if they are arranged in these directions or in this manner, in linear manner, they are having a maximum angle. Means what is the angle here? 180 degrees. When 180 degrees angle is present, they are having the maximum distance. Here see, in between these two hybrid orbitals, for example, these are the two hybrid orbitals, for example, and here these are having this type of 180 degrees angle, then they can be stable. They are highly stable. They can make a very stable molecular structure. If they are present like this, what is the angle? 90 degrees. 90 degrees means 180, 90. Half of the angle decreased, means repulsion between these two increases. So they always try to arrange to minimize the repulsions among them. The hybrid orbitals, why we are getting linear shape, triangular shape or tetrahedral shape means in those shapes the molecules are getting minimum repulsion between the hybrid orbitals or between the bonded pair electrons. Okay. Next, hybrid orbitals forms only sigma bonds, not pi bonds. Please remember, pi bonds are not formed. No pi bonds. So hybrid orbitals always forms sigma bonds only. Okay. So always hybrid orbitals are forming sigma bonds. Normal pure orbitals also form sigma bond. Pure orbitals means as per valency bond theory, SS overlapping, SP overlapping, PP overlapping also form sigma bond. But If hybrid orbitals are present, then the hybrid orbitals always overlap linearly and they forms sigma bonds only. Okay, and next and important point, remember hybridization is for orbitals only. Hybridization is for orbitals, not for electrons. Very important. Hybridization is for orbitals only, not for electrons. Means electrons are not undergoing. Means hybridization is for orbitals only. Means intermixing of atomic orbitals. What type of atomic orbitals are? Even it may contains a pair of electrons. Please remember, even that contains a pair of electrons in that atomic orbital, or even it may contains unpaired electron, and even sometimes they are empty also. Very rarely they are empty also. A paired electron containing orbitals. Here sometimes a box which contains two electrons. It may involve in the hybridization process. We will give some examples later. And unpaired electrons, if single electron is present, even though sometimes empty orbitals means without any electron also, that atomic orbital will involved in the intermixing process. For this example is BH3, simply remember. Okay, so that is BH3 molecule formation or B2S6 molecule formation. So this is a pair, unpaired and empty orbitals involved. So it is not a cause, not a case of electrons, or electrons are not required in those atomic orbitals. Even if they contains atomic or they not contains atomic, not contains electrons, those atomic orbitals involved in the hybridization process and undergoes to hybridization to give different hybrid orbitals. The next is types of hybridization. Here, basing on the different types of atomic orbitals intermixing, there are different types of hybridization. In this first type is called as sp hybridization, means one s orbital and p orbital intermixing, and the second type is called as sp2 hybridization. Why we are taking this? Our third type is called as sp3 hybridization. Fourth type is called as sp4 hybridization. Is it correct? sp4 hybridization is possible. Whether it is possible or not, I am telling it is not possible. Why, sir? Why sp4 is not possible? Here, you know, s orbital means how many? S subshell means how many orbitals present? One orbital. And p subshell means it is having three orbitals. Okay. And d subshell means how many orbitals we are having? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, the intermixing of one s orbital and one p orbital will give sp hybridization. And the intermixing of one s orbital and two p orbitals will give sp2 hybridization. Totally 3. Okay, and the intermixing of one s orbital and three p orbitals will give sp3 hybridization. Where is sp4? Where is sp4? How sp4 is possible? Okay, please remember, don't write. If you are writing sp4 means you never know about chemistry. You can't know about chemistry basics. So simply lock in front of you. Generally, sp4 hybridization is not possible, never. Okay. And the next one, here I am writing fourth one. So fourth one is sp3, and next what is possible? One s orbital, three p orbitals, and one d orbital. Then this is called as sp3d. So the fourth one is sp3d, and next one s orbital, 3 p orbitals and 2 d orbitals. Then the possible is sp3d2. So the fifth possibility is sp3d2. And the next possibility, one s orbital, two 3p orbitals and 3d orbitals, that is called as sp3d3. Okay. So the sixth one we are having, that is sp3d3 hybridization. And what about these remaining, sir? sp3d4, sp3d5? We are not having. Our syllabus is limited up to sp3d3. Okay, the combinations are possible, but we are not having such type of examples. Our syllabus is limited and NCERT limited for this sp3d3. Okay, this is the types of hybridization. We will see later for each and every type, sp, sp2, sp3 and all the other types.